welcome back to Upcycle. I forgot the name then. The time has come. It's not an upcycle necessarily for me because I'm making the cushion covers, but it's an upcycle for our friends who have bought 2 retro chairs, a black PVC. I'll try and, if I've still got the photo, I'll slot the photo in. And they've asked me, well actually I keep saying they've asked me, I volunteered to cover the cushions for them just because they're friends and because it would save them quite a bit of money. Upholstery isn't cheap, as you know. Even these materials, ridiculously expensive. Foam is always expensive. But I've got 2 in this size and I've got 2 in that size. So that is my project today. I keep putting it off and putting it off because I think it's that responsibility of, because you're doing something for someone else and you're just worried that you're going to make something, well, that something will go wrong. I want it so basic really. I mean, they're not worried about fastenings or anything like that because they said it's unlikely that the chairs are going to be used very much, and so it'll just sit there looking pretty in their room. So let's begin. This, I've already cut out all the pieces. I did that weeks and weeks ago when I was raring to go. But they were worried they wouldn't have enough fabric, and it was quite close because that is all that we've got left over. So this is another reason why I'm a little bit nervous, because if there's a mistake, then it would mean going all the way back to the shop and hope they've still got some of the fabric left. But I've cut all the sides and ends, and I've cut all the tops and bottoms. I made my own paper pattern and I measured and measured and measured and measured. You know, it's like they say measure 2 or 3 times, cut once. But I just measured so many times, and even knowing that, I'm still a little bit paranoid. But that is the pattern, and I might give that to them in case they decide they want to do it in a different colour at another time. So yes, so that's what I've got to do. Because of the lack of fabric, there is a grain that runs through it, so I haven't been able to get the grain going the same way. But again, I know they're not going to be bothered. You won't see it from a distance. First thing I want to do, I think, is to go serge all the edges, because it is already fraying a little bit. So just the minutest bit taken off the edges, because obviously I need every bit of fabric. So I'll come back to you when I've done that. Okay, there we go. All the edges are now serged and tidy to stop them from fraying. That's taken me a couple of hours actually, I'm sure it has. Especially all the time it takes to re-thread the serger with different thread. And that's the white that was originally on it. Yeah. So next stage is my lunch, and then I'll be back to put these together. Eek! Okay, I've planned on the seams being, I think it's 1 centimetre. Where are we? Yeah, about 1 centimetre all round. So this should be just outside the serge edge actually. So now I've got to make sure I've got my tension right before I do that. Choose my stitches and everything. I've got my magnetic guide. I don't always use it, but it helps when you're doing something in straight lines. Obviously you need it to be straight. It helps. Right. I think just a normal straight stitch will be fine. It's good if you've got spare bits of fabric to actually try and get it right with the right fabric to hand. Let's hope the tension doesn't need adjusting, because I hate doing the tension. It's alright on a single layer. Let's try and double it up. Fingers crossed. Well, that's a rare one. It's perfect. Right, put that down there. Oh! Now, right, so I want a top and a bottom. I need two sides and two ends. Put the right, yep. Okay, pins. Right, I'll do one side first. Let's make sure got two of the same size. I did try keeping them. Is this it? Yep, two of the same. Right sides together. That's the short side. I'll do the short side first. Well, that's not right. What is the Right, I think the plan is to put all the sides together. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. Okay, just calming down. Right, I've just spent about half an hour. I'd started to pin one of the cushion covers together, and as I'm doing it I'm starting to think I've got the wrong pieces to go together. So then I had to get all of them, measure all sides of everything, and I knew I'd cut them right, but you start to doubt yourself when these things happen. So I've put them all together now, top and bottom of each cushion, all 4 sides to each cushion, and fold them together. So let's do it. And I've got my tension right because I had a little bit of fabric that I could test the tension, so hopefully that stays and does well as well. So first thing to do, let's get rid of this squeaky chair. So excuse my appearance, I've been busy since I spoke on here last. I just had someone come and look at the sheet in case they want to stay at some point, so I did that, and then got lots of phone calls that I was trying to arrange things as well. So it's just been a stressful little time. Anyway, right, one top, one bottom. I'm going to have to leave one end open because then I'll need to hand stitch the last bit on once it's on the cushion, as I say, because they're not bothered about taking it off. What I decided I was going to do is stitch all the sides together, end to end, and then they'll be in one long thing for me to then pin around the square of the cushion. So let's start that. It's a short and a long. Yep. So I'm going to do 1 centimetre all round for seams, and if I need to, if there's enough, I can maybe bring it in a bit. A long one. If I was being really good, I'd be tacking this, but there's a lot of tacking, so I'm going to just pin. Nope, I've done that the wrong way around. That's a good start. Being as it's just all one colour, I'm just lucky that the front and back are obvious, because otherwise I'd be getting in a mess with that as well. And this one. Right. So I'm going to just do the sides on this cushion and attach it to the bottom or top on that one, and then I'll leave it at that and then come back and show you when they're all done. Right, so now to fix this onto there. See, I'm paranoid. corners are the most difficult bit. Just trying to get them neat. So you get the idea from that, even though it's just pinned. And now I'm going to try the stitching on that bit. So I've got, once I've done this half and stitched them all down, when I do the other half, I'll leave the top seam undone. Hopefully that's enough to get the cushion in. I'm using a needle that you use for denim because this is quite heavy duty. And the thread I'm using is, I forgot what it's called now. Gutermann.